Hey, it's Mark Loftus, day 3 of NAB 2012 here in Las Vegas. We're at Post TV here at the Post booth, and I'm joined again this year. It's probably 2 or 3 years now that you've done it. Terry Curren, AlphaDogs in Burbank, California. Thanks for joining us, Terry.
Glad to be here.
It's always good to hear your feedback on what's going on in the show. I know you're always looking at NLEs, you're looking at monitoring, new products, cameras, how that's going to affect your workflow. You guys do an editor's lounge prior to the show and kind of talk about what the themes might be.
Mm-hmm.
What's the perception in reality? What you saw, what you talked about maybe a month ago, and how it panned out?
How it panned out? Well, one of the things that we kind of all agreed, we thought it was going to be heavy cloud-based. And though it is here, that isn't the biggest buzz. The biggest buzz got stolen by Black Magic, of course.
Yeah, they kept that news quiet up until the release, and we've talked a little bit about it on this show. Their new 2.5K camera that comes with Resolve.
So it comes with Resolve and the Ultrascope. So that's $1,700 worth of software basically, and that makes the camera $1,300.
Yeah.
And that's list price. That's not street price, because street price will probably be $2,500 for the camera. So you're going to get the camera about $1,000.
Yeah. And you guys do a lot of television work, and you think that camera is going to find its way into television, but it could become cinema also.
Yeah, there's no question at all. I mean, the target audience obviously is going to be the people who are using 5Ds and 7Ds now, because it's that kind of it fits into that realm. It's going to be cheaper than those. But what's really nice for us in post is it shoots DNX HD, it shoots ProRes, and it shoots uncompressed. And one of the problems with the DSLRs is those codecs are so heavily compressed. If you have to try to fix them in post, it's just not. There's no information there to work with.
Right. So this will easily make its way into a post workflow.
Absolutely.
Just because
I'm going to buy one. Aren't you? Come on.
I'm hoping they give me one.
Well, that would be even better.
I'm only kidding. That wouldn't happen.
Grant, you should give both of us one of the cameras.
There you go. But so again, back to the editor's lounge.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see that coming.
No.
What were you looking at, though? What were you coming to the show to keep your eyes on? I know that you're an avid user. You're Final Cut too. I mean, Symphony and.
One of the things that we wanted to check out is I figured Discrete would be doing something, because it's been a while. So, of course, the big announcement was the new Smoke. They've dropped the price to $3,500. They've enabled the nodes, which they didn't have in there before. And they've tried to add sort of an editing interface, because it's never been a really good editing system. It's still in progress. What we saw here is, early, I think it's alpha. It's not even to beta yet. Mm-hmm. So, there's sort of a timeline you can scrub and you can sort of edit in there, but you have to trim in the timeline. There's no trim windows and no dynamic trimming. So, all of that stuff. They say it's coming. Mm-hmm. They say multicam is going to be there, but it's not there yet. So.
Right. Is that something you guys would consider making a purchase? I know you've got your gear and your workflow set up, but when the price comes down to what it is going to be, does it make it that much more attractive?
At AlphaDogs, we're primarily finishing. So, it's like, what did the client use for offline? That's really what we're going to be using. So if they've traditionally if they offline Avid, we finish in Avid. They've offline in Final Cut, we finish in Final Cut. So there's not really a feeder NLE to this. Where I can really see it coming in, though, because it's more powerful in the compositing universe, is we've got a couple graphics artists doing After Effects. They do compositing and design and all that. I can see them going to this because they're going to get more real time. After Effects, you've got everything's going to be rendered basically. So now they can get this, and at $3,500, it puts it in that range where it is competition for After Effects. Will you pay a couple $1,000s more to have everything real time?
Yeah.
So.
We talked about the Blackmagic camera. It's 2.5K, but at this show there's a lot of trends for 4K workflows, cameras. Is that something you have to be conscious of? You're doing most of your work is delivered for television.
Right.
So does that affect the television workflow more?
Not yet.
Okay.
There's a lot of push to it's like they tried to push 3D and oops, fell flat. Yeah. So now they get how are we going to sell more TVs?
Well, the Olympics will be in 3D. The Olympics will be in 3D, and Panasonic wants to tout that because they'll have gear there. So
what a
stay
surprise.
tuned in July.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Right.
Okay.
But it's not as big as it was last year, obviously.
Okay. That was my prediction, remember?
Yeah.
Okay, so now that you've still got the manufacturers going, darn, well, we didn't pull that one off, so what are we going to do to sell more stuff? Okay, 4K, that's it. there's another group of people who are saying, well, why are we even bothering? Let's just go straight to 8K, because the 8K technology is there already anyway. So, from a manufacturer standpoint, they're probably perfectly happy to sell you the 4K and in a couple more years sell you the 8K version,
Right.
But, if we're going to go that route, let's just skip everything, forget 3D, and go straight to 8K and be done with it.
Well, there's got to be an evolution, no?
Why? Yeah. The cameras are already there at 8K.
Yeah.
The monitors are already there at 8K. If you're using, editing software that's resolution independent, who cares if it's 4K or 8K?
Right.
Bandwidth, they're going to compress the heck out of everything so that we can work with it anyway. So it's kind of a joke. It doesn't matter what number they come up with.
You're going to be working with proxy type stuff anyway.
Exactly. And I went and I saw the 4K monitors in the Canon booth. Okay. And to be honest, if you're 5 feet away from it, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between 4K and 2K.
Okay.
It's just not, there's not enough there to really do it. And when you start compressing that stuff to, broadcast or stream or whatever, you're definitely not going to be able to tell the difference. So it is really a marketing game right now.
Yeah. You're always looking at monitors from the doing away with the CRTs and the new monitors. So I know you've been keeping tabs on that over a couple of years. And you've even done shootouts and stuff at the facility. Are you looking at that this year? Has it settled?
It's done. Sony won. The OLED, that's the monitor. Forget it. Nobody else comes close.
Dolby has a reference monitor.
It's $40,000 LCD monitor. The black is still not as beautiful as the black in the Sony. Now the Sony, they have the BVM OLED. That's like $25,000. That's kind of out of everybody's reach. But then they came out with the PVMs, and they're $6,000. And it is the most beautiful. It's funny because, we've been nursing our CRTs along to try to get them to the end, and then we have a plasma for a client monitor, right? So, I'm always color correcting using a CRT, but then at the end when we're playing back, the clients are watching the plasma, so I'll tend to watch the plasma sometimes. Now I've gotten so used to the Sony OLED, the black on that is so perfect that the plasma looks washed out to me when I'm outputting, and I have to constantly check my scope. No, the black's okay, but boy, that looks like,
What about the lower cost Symphony? They're doing some kind of promotion now with that too.
$995, yeah.
And you guys are Symphony users, so.
Anybody who's even thinking about going to Avid should do that. At $995, because the Symphony is exactly the same software as a media composer. It is the same thing with just a few more features turned on. So if you're going to be editing in Media Composer, don't think of it as, oh, well, that Symphony's something different. Just go, okay, would you buy the Media Composer right now for $995 with the Boris plugins thrown in? That's $1,500 package. DVD, Avid DVD thrown in. All this stuff is thrown in. So would you buy that for $995?
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to convert all my existing media composers to Symphonies also. Why not?
Yeah.
Just for the Boris plugins alone, it's worth the price of admission.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you for coming by the Post booth again. That's, I guess, 3 years in a row, giving us the feedback on what you've seen in the past 2 or 3 days. And I want to tell our viewers, stay tuned. We've got Tom Burbank from the Red Owl coming up next. So stay tuned. Thanks.